We've been taught that we're saved. We've been taught that we're Christians. We've been taught that we're believers. We've been taught that we're sinners saved by grace on our way to heaven just as soon as we die. And nobody really has taken the time to teach the church in the West what the indwelling is supposed to look like. And it's a mutual indwelling. And it's the reason why we teach on things like perichoresis, because it gives us a picture of what the volume of the mutual indwelling looks like, to the point that the church has argued for I shouldn't say the church, the religious world has argued for thousands of years before there was a Christ, whether God was one or three, because we don't understand mutual indwelling, which cancels the argument. It cancels the argument. Is he one or is he three? Yes. So we came up with language for that in the creed where he's 3 in 1. He's 3 in 1, or is he 1 in 3? He's 3 in 1 and he's 1 in 3. And the man shall leave his father and mother and cleave unto his wife, and the twain shall become one. The two shall become one. So there's this picture of mutual indwelling that is really a picture of intercourse. It's a picture of intimacy, and it's a picture of the giving of oneself to another until the identity of the other actually gets absorbed into the identity of one. So I'll use you guys as an example, because I know exactly how long y'all been married, because you've been married exactly how long I've been alive. So for 47 years, they've been married to, actually on my birthday, the day I was born, the day they were married. Isn't that pretty cool? But you don't talk about Keith Gibson. You talk about Keith and Jean. Unless you know them, then it's Jean and Keith. So, no, but right? He even agrees with that. So it's Keith and Jean. You talk about Keith and Jean. You talk about Keith and Jean. You talk about Keith and Jean. Now, what happens is, in the right environment, you also now talk about Taylor and Carson. And we can all remember when it was just a Taylor, right, and just a Carson. But in the measure of the appropriate environment of intended joining, something happens so quickly that you begin to understand that this person is not to be considered independent of another. Yes. Right? And so when you begin to understand that you are in Christ, not in church, not in Christianity, not in a certain doctrine, not in a certain belief system, but you're actually in Christ, you're actually in Him. You're actually in Him. Then all of a sudden you begin to understand that He is not a nebulous, external, peripheral light shining at you from a distance, but He's actually the light in you. And you are the light in Him. So you're not experiencing, let me say it like this, you're not experiencing light the way the earth experiences light from the sun. You're experiencing light the way the sun experiences light from the sun.